My ex-boyfriend needs me. Don't wait up. That was the text I got from my wife at 7:16 p.m. on my damn birthday. She didn't even have the decency to lie creatively anymore. No emergency with a friend. No work late. Just blunt betrayal. Like I was some side character in her story. I read it twice, just to feel the slap twice. And then I replied with the coldest thing I've ever typed. Understood. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even call her. I stood up from the birthday table I had set for two, took off the jacket I ironed just for tonight, and walked straight into the bedroom. Her side of the closet was a luxury boutique. Chanel, Dior, Gucci, the stuff she never wore around me, only on her girls' nights. Yeah, right. I took each piece off the hangers one by one, folded them like I was doing her a favor, packed them neatly into 2 large suitcases, and zipped them shut. I called the 24/7 courier. Paid the extra to get it done now. When the guy asked for the delivery address, I gave him the one I found in her phone weeks ago. Derek Benson. Her ex, the one she said was toxic and long gone. The same one whose name popped up when her phone lit up at 2 a.m. 2 months ago, and she swore it was a coworker. With the bags went a simple note I scribbled in Sharpie on white printer paper. She's yours now. I shut the door, sat down, and waited. Not for her. For the firestorm I had just unleashed. 6 hours later, I was brushing my teeth, because I still had standards, even in betrayal, when my phone buzzed. Unknown caller. I knew exactly who it was. Are you insane? A man's voice exploded through the speaker. She's crying on my ****ing porch with your damn bags. What the hell is wrong with you? Wrong with me? I laughed, rinsing my mouth and spitting into the sink. She said you needed her. I just helped her arrive faster. You think this is a game? Derek, I said, calmly wiping my mouth. She left me, on my birthday, to come to you. You're welcome. He hung up. I sat back down on the couch. Alone. The birthday cake was still untouched on the table, candles long melted into wax puddles. The wine unopened. The playlist still humming softly from the kitchen speaker. And I smiled. Not out of happiness, but out of clarity. Out of the storm of realization that this marriage had died long before tonight. I had just finally found the body. What I didn't know was that tonight would only be the beginning, and the messages, the betrayals, the lies that would unravel in the next few days would make that one text feel like a love letter. The next morning, she walked in like nothing happened. Hair messy, mascara smudged under her eyes, no apology on her lips. Just silence. She didn't even look at me. Dropped her purse by the door and headed straight for the bathroom like she owned the air in this house. I sat on the armrest of the couch, arms folded, waiting. Water running. 10 minutes. 15. Then she walked out wearing one of my shirts. The audacity. I didn't think you'd still be here, she said flatly, not even flinching. Guess that makes 2 of us. She paused, finally looking me in the eyes. I just needed to clear my head. I stared at her. I got the note, she added, her voice cold but shaky. Really mature of you. That did it. Mature? You left me on my birthday. To go to your ex. You texted me like it was a dentist appointment. I said he needed me. And I said understood. I snapped. Because I finally did. Her jaw clenched, like she was trying to stay in control. Like I was the one blowing this out of proportion. You don't understand how complicated it is with Derek. You told me he was out of your life. I didn't say forever. You married me, Amanda. I slammed my palm on the table. You wore a white dress and looked me in the eye and promised loyalty. If you needed closure with your ex, you could have written a diary entry. Not run into his arms like a damn soap opera. She scoffed. You're being dramatic. That word. Dramatic. Like I was inventing the betrayal. Like the hurt was my performance. Was I being dramatic when I found hotel receipts you said were work trips? I asked. She froze. Or when you came home, wearing different perfume than you left with. Or when your gym bag had receipts from restaurants you swore you hadn't been to. Silence. You thought I wouldn't notice, I continued. Because I don't shout. Because I give you space. Because I trusted you. Still nothing. I gave you the rope, I said softly. And you built a damn noose with it. Finally, she snapped. You were boring, Ryan. Everything about our life became boring. I needed something real again. And lying was real. Cheating was real. Walking out on your husband for a washed-up ex with a record was real. He gets me. That one stung. Like she drove a nail into my chest and twisted. You mean he lets you lie to his face without questioning it? She glared at me, grabbed her phone, and started texting furiously. Probably him. You know what? She said, slinging her bag over her shoulder. You want to play this victim card? Fine. I'll go back to Derek. Go, I said. I already changed the locks. And forwarded your mail. You don't live here anymore. She stopped in the doorway. You think this is some victory? You'll regret this. One day, I walked past her, opened the door myself. You left me to cry on someone else's doorstep. Now go cry on it again. And I shut the door before she could reply. But the silence afterward wasn't peace. It was war. Because what she did next, that was the part that almost broke me. 3 days passed. 3 days of quiet, like the eye of a storm. I thought maybe that was it. Maybe I'd actually won. She was gone. The house felt cleaner, my mind calmer. But then the email started. Anonymous. Cold. Strategic. The first one was a screenshot of my company's financial statements. The second was an HR complaint. The third, a restraining order application, filed under emotional instability and threats of violence. I stared at the PDF like it was written in a foreign language. She was flipping the script, painting me as the monster. A quiet man who kept his head down, who never raised a hand or his voice, suddenly framed as abusive. I called my lawyer immediately. Ryan, if this gets traction, it could cost you your business license, she warned. She's lying, I said. She's doing this because I exposed her. Of course she is. But courts believe paper, not feelings. Start gathering evidence. So I did. Security cam footage. Call logs. Screenshots. The forwarded text she forgot I had. But nothing could prepare me for what came next. She showed up at my office. In heels. Lipstick. Hair curled like she was headed to a magazine shoot. She didn't ask to speak. She just walked in, like she still belonged here. The front desk girl, Emily, looked horrified. Ryan, she said she had an appointment. She doesn't. Amanda smirked. Still running this little empire of lies, huh? I gestured to the hallway. Out. Now. She leaned in, voice dripping in venom. Derek kicked me out. Said I was too unstable. Guess you two agree on something now. Not my problem. Oh, but it is. Her eyes lit up with that manic glint. Because I told my lawyer you hit me. I froze. You didn't think I'd leave with nothing, did you? She whispered. All those years I played house, pretending your spreadsheet life was enough. I deserve more than a note and a courier. Get out, I said through gritted teeth. But she wasn't done. You really think that judge will take your side when I cry in court? When I show pictures of bruises and say I feared for my life? You're playing with fire. No, baby. You lit the match. She turned and walked out like she just closed a business deal. Like she'd just ordered a hit. I sat down, heart pounding. Not from fear, but fury. Pure, electric, venomous fury. She wasn't going to ruin me quietly. If she wanted war, she was going to get it. And I wasn't about to lose. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, thinking about every time I forgave a lie. Every late night, she said she was working. Every empty excuse that I swallowed, telling myself I was just overthinking. I thought back to the night I found her old phone, buried in a drawer under a pile of winter scarves. I hadn't told her I saw it. I didn't open it either, not then. But now I had a reason. I charged it up, waited as the Apple logo blinked to life like a resurrected ghost. No lock screen. She must have forgotten. The messages hit me like a freight train. Derek. Same hotel tonight. Can't wait to see you in that black set again. Does your husband even touch you anymore? Amanda. He doesn't notice anything. He's a robot with a ring. I fake sleep to avoid talking. I wish I never married him. Should have stayed with you. Months. Hundreds of texts. Pictures. Plans. Inside jokes. Mockery. They laughed about me. She called me Captain Boring. Said I made love like I was submitting a tax form. She even joked about replacing my birthday dinner with Derek's favorite fast food and seeing if I noticed. I sat there, frozen, phone in hand, shaking, not because of the betrayal anymore, but because of the level of humiliation. She didn't just cheat. She enjoyed it. She dragged my name through the dirt like I was a mistake she was ashamed of. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Screenshots. Timestamps. The works. Then I crafted my own little storm. First, I contacted our bank. Froze the joint account. She wouldn't get a penny more from what I built. Second, I called the property manager. The lease was under my name. I filed for a formal removal of a cohabiting party, citing harassment. She was legally evicted in under 48 hours. And third, I prepared for the court hearing. She showed up in beige, hair in a bun, fake tears already locked and loaded. Her lawyer was some smug creep with a gelled-up smile and a script he clearly wrote for a Lifetime movie. "Your Honor," he began, "my client has endured emotional distress, gaslighting, and intimidation." I let him talk. Let them cry, perform, whimper about years of silence and fear. Then my lawyer stood up. "My client would like to enter into evidence the following: text conversations, photos, time-stamped phone logs, and a record of hotel check-ins made by the plaintiff under an assumed name." Amanda's face dropped. Her lawyer stammered. We weren't made aware." "You are now," the judge said coldly, flipping through the packet. Amanda looked at me like she didn't recognize me. No more nice husband. No more easy target. No more warm body to come home to after lying through her lipstick. And as her story collapsed in front of a silent courtroom, I watched her finally understand. She didn't leave me. I set her free. And now, she was standing in her own fire. After court, she tried to call me. 5 times in a row. Then came the texts. "We need to talk. You didn't have to destroy me like that. You were supposed to love me. I'm scared. Please." I didn't respond. Not out of pride, but because there was nothing left to say. She gambled with everything and lost. And now, standing in the ashes, she wanted to talk about love? I drove to my office. My staff, who had stayed eerily quiet during the whole ordeal, greeted me with nods that said we saw it all. Emily handed me a thick envelope. No return address. Inside was a handwritten letter, no salutation, just one sentence. "You'll regret ever making me your enemy." It wasn't Amanda's handwriting. Derek. I half laughed, half sighed. Was this a movie now? Was I supposed to be afraid of some sad excuse for a man who couldn't even hold down a woman without her destroying everything around her? Still, I handed it to my assistant. "Scan this. Save it to the file." Later that day, I got a message from my accountant. We found something odd. Apparently, Amanda had been transferring money from our personal savings to a hidden crypto wallet, small amounts, over time, almost invisible if you weren't looking for it. She had stolen over $48,000 in 2 years. Quietly, discreetly, not for bills, not for gifts. It was her exit fund. She was preparing to vanish long before my birthday ever came. Long before Derek ever opened his arms back to her. That night, I sat in the living room, sipping whiskey, finally letting the weight settle. It wasn't just infidelity. It wasn't just the lies. It was the strategy, the layers, the cruelty. She never stumbled into betrayal. She planned it, smiled through it, slept next to me while it unfolded like a script she'd written with care. And here's the part no one ever tells you. The pain doesn't hit all at once. It drips. In photos you remember taking. In coffee cups still left in the dishwasher. In songs that used to be ours. But the numbness that follows? That becomes your new normal. And eventually, even that fades into clarity. Around 2 a.m., another knock at the door. I checked the cam. Amanda. Soaked. Red-eyed. Hair a mess. Suitcase at her feet. She looked straight into the camera and mouthed, "Please." I muted the intercom. Not out of cruelty, out of finality. This chapter was over. And I had no intention of rereading it. The next morning, my phone lit up with another notification, this time from my building manager. Apparently, Amanda had been sitting outside the complex entrance since before sunrise. No screaming, no theatrics. Just sitting there with that same damn suitcase like a washed-up actress begging for a rerun of a canceled show. I walked past her without a word. Her eyes followed me, bloodshot and hollow. She didn't speak until I was almost at the door. "Ryan." I paused. Not for her, for myself. To feel if there was anything left inside me. Anger, pity, nostalgia. But there was nothing. Just quiet. She stood up and took a step forward, arms slightly out, like she expected a hug. "I have nowhere else to go." I turned around slowly. "You had a home," I said. "You chose chaos." "It was a mistake." "No," I said. "A mistake is forgetting a birthday. You executed a long-term demolition of your marriage. That's a decision." Her chin trembled. "Derek changed. He kicked me out when I told him I wasn't leaving you for him." I smirked. "Didn't seem like that was your plan on my birthday." She looked away. "You don't understand what it's like to feel invisible." "Maybe not," I replied. "But I damn well know what it's like to be used." She started crying. The real kind this time, not crocodile tears. But I wasn't going to be a sponge for her guilt anymore. You slept next to me for years, I said, voice low, while scheming behind my back. And now, you want a do-over because your backup plan fell through. I just want to talk. You talked when you lied to me. Now you can listen to the silence you created. I walked inside and buzzed the doorman. Make sure she leaves. I didn't look back. Later that day, I met with my lawyer to finalize the divorce. Clean, swift, no assets split. The prenup I had, the one she laughed about when we signed, now protected every cent I owned. She'd walked into the ring thinking I was soft. But I'd built a business from nothing. Survived betrayals bigger than her. She just didn't think I had it in me to walk away. She was wrong. That night, for the first time in months, I went out. Just a bar downtown. No big plans. Just me, a glass of bourbon, and the sound of strangers laughing nearby. It felt foreign, but good. A woman sat a few seats down. She glanced over once or twice, smiling softly. I nodded, polite. I wasn't ready. But maybe, someday I would be. Because you can lose everything, and still come out whole. You just have to stop trying to rescue someone who was drowning you on purpose. 2 months passed. The papers were signed, sealed, and delivered. My name was clear. My business untangled from her mess. And Amanda? She'd vanished from my life like smoke after a fire, leaving behind only the charred outlines of what we used to be. I heard through a mutual acquaintance that she moved back in with her mother. No Derek. No job. Just a woman finally forced to sit in the consequences she thought she was too clever to face. One morning I got a letter. Handwritten. No envelope. Just slid under my door like a final ghost. You'll never understand how broken I was. I didn't know how to be loved by someone real. You were too good to me, and I was too used to chaos. I ruined it. I ruined us. I hope you find peace. I hope someday you forgive me. I folded it once and dropped it in the shredder. Forgiveness? It's not about them. It's about finally taking your hands off the wounds they caused and letting them scar over. Letting them teach you. I learned I can rebuild. I learned silence isn't weakness, it's control. And most of all, I learned that the loudest revenge isn't anger or exposure or lawsuits. It's thriving without the person who swore you'd fall apart without them. Today, I woke up, brewed a fresh cup of coffee, and stood on my balcony watching the city come alive. My phone buzzed, an investor call in an hour, a gym session after that. My schedule was mine again. No lies. No pretending. No enemy in my own bed. I still wear the watch Amanda gifted me 5 years ago. Not because of her. Because it reminds me of time, how fast things fall apart, and how powerful it is to get back up, rebuild, and walk away from the wreckage without a backward glance. If you're reading this, and you're where I was, let her go. Let the chaos burn out. Let the silence speak for you. And then, walk away so calmly they'll start wondering if they ever really mattered at all.